Beauties, welcome back to my channel. I know it has been a minute, but I'm really glad to be back. Today we are going to do a very soft mauvey kind of a look. Um, Clearly, that is my favorite color, but it is also the most wearable for all of us. So let's get right into it. I have already prepped my skin with a toner and a moisturizer, but let us start with moisturizing thoroughly. Please remember, no matter how good your primer is, your moisturizer will decide the fate of your makeup. So going in with the primer, I'm going to be using the Krylon Ultra Base Primer. This primer works best is for people with slight skin texture, some signs of aging. It also is silicone based, so it will make your makeup last longer. Combing through my brows, I'm just going to neaten them up, clean them off any product that may have entered them, and I'm going to be using a flat head brush along with a spoolie to work the product in. I could not find any brow product right in front of me, and I did not want to move because when you get in the zone, you get in the zone. So I started by using a very dark cool brown eyeshadow. Now I am not going to mention any products that I'm going to use. I'm going to only teach you techniques. If I feel that there's an extraordinary product that has worked really well for me, I will mention it. So after filling in the product in my brows, I am now prepping my eyelid with a concealer that is much lighter in shade, and I'm going to apply the product first, kind of spread it out, and then I'm going to dab it to set it on my eyes, using a loose powder to set any kind of moisture on the eyes, so that the base doesn't crease later. Using a warm brown eyeshadow, I think it's a lipstick that I'm using, because as I said, I did not have many products on hand, and this is a classic example of a lazy girl makeup for you all. I am using a lipstick that is kind of mauvey pink, has a hint of rusty red in it, and that is going on in my crease. Trust me when I say that using lipstick as your eyeshadow and using it well is what is going to work fantastic for you. And I'm using this brush, and I'm going to use one brush to do my entire eyeshadow. This is a round blending brush, and I'm going to use the top of the brush for the transition shade and the edge of the brush to create a crease and the outer corner detailing. I'm using a ashy brown, dark brown shade on the corners of my eye, and I'm going to define my crease. Now if you have smaller eye space, you don't need to use too many colors and products. You can just go with one transition shade and a crease shade and directly with your eyeshadow in. Here I am applying a light silver pink, kind of a cool pink shade on the lid of my eyes, giving it a nice blushy tone, and I'm pulling it almost in the inner corner, like an inner corner highlight, because I want my lid to pop, not hide. And since I have hooded eyes, I have to be careful how much product and where I place it. So I am not dragging it very high up in my crease, on the middle of the crease, but inner corner I am dragging it quite high so that it gives a nice open eye look, making sure the product is blended nicely in with the others and not directly applying any kind of product on the shimmery eyeshadow is the goal, to create a very nice blended yet a very defined look. Instead of using an eyeliner, I'm using the darkest brown eyeshadow that I can find, and I'm using an angled brush to create a wing like structure. Now this is a wearable eye makeup, hence I'm going to show you something that doesn't go very bold on the eyes for the daytime or the evening. Now since my eyes are kind of, how do I put it, different, I am going to line the inner corner of my eyes all the way to the mid, where my winged smudged brown liner starts. I'm going to line them so that I have a defined inner crease, inner line for my eyes, and they look cleaner, and they have a very precise shape to it, because otherwise my eyelid gets lost because I have very thin lashes. Cleaning up any residue of eyeshadows under my eyes and reapplying moisturizer under them. Trust me when I say this, do not skip this step. It literally decides the fate of your eyeshadow or your under eye look. It may look creasy, it may look brown, gray. Any product that you do not clean is going to layer on under the product that you use over it. So I'm using the peach color corrector, just very little bit, to kind of camouflage the discoloration. And I'm going to use some under the nose and the chin, and around the nose as well. I have some redness around my nose, so I'm going to use some color corrector there as well. I am using a tinted foundation here to kind of give myself a medium-ish coverage, light to medium coverage, and I'm applying a lot of product, which is giving me quite a high coverage. And I love this glowy, dewy tinted foundation, and trust me, the kind of look that you're seeing on celebrities nowadays is the glowy, dewy tinted foundations that they have been using. I am not going to mention any brands, but if you do need to absolutely know what product I'm using, please comment down below and I'll let you know. And in the meanwhile, please like this video and comment for anything, any concerns, any questions that you have, and subscribe to my channel, because I do post a lot of detailed videos, and I teach you techniques, and if necessary, products are mentioned. So going on with a big brush to blend out. So I'm not going to drag my foundation, even though I do not have many layers. I'm going to drag it. I'm going to buff it in my face, dab and buff. And I'm going to use today, great thing I want to tell you is, and like I said, today I was very lazy to do any product hunting. I had a darker foundation right in front of me, so I am using that foundation as a bronzy look, or less defined but a more shadowy kind of a look. As you can see, this gave my skin such a beautiful glow. It was almost as if I did not do any makeup. I just stepped out in the sun, and the sun gave me a little bit of a tan, and it looks so pretty. I became a fan of this combo, which I'm going to use a lot now. So this is just a couple of shades darker kind of a foundation that I was using, and really loved the way it came out. I'm also pulling this foundation a little bit on my jaw and sides of my forehead. Now, going back to my laziness, I'm using a liquid lipstick as my blush, which I am going to apply on the cheekbones, the side of my cheekbones, and pulling it slightly towards the inner eye, because I've not applied any concealer. I want that rosy glow under my eyes, and I pulled the blush also slightly on my eyelids, because I wanted to look more cohesive and not very patchy and kind of divided. Going in with a concealer that is just one shade lighter than my skin tone, I'm going to apply it in the inner corner, outer corner, bridge of the nose, forehead, chin and upper lips, and I'm blending it in. Actually, I'm not blending it, I'm dabbing it in for maximum coverage with a concealer brush. And you can see that I am blending most of the product right where it was placed to start with, and then whatever is left on the brush, I'm dragging it to the areas that I want highlighted. This will allow me to get more coverage in the sense of the tone, and also apply least amount of product on my face, which will also give me less creasing or less patchiness. Using a loose powder with a puff on my face. Please note that I am taking out all the excess powder on my hand and kind of blending the powder in the puff before it goes on my face. This will give me a super smooth look. Super smooth look. Trust me when I say this is like amazingly smooth look and a long lasting makeup all day long. Now I'm going to apply the same product on my chin and upper lips because these are my sweat areas, and my forehead, center of the forehead. Now whatever is left on the puff will go on the rest of my face because I want my T-zone set properly for lots and lots and lots of insurance. I'm going to apply some product that is extra, but on the sides of my face, on the rest of my face, I'm going to apply whatever is left on the puff. This will help me not overload too much on my face, and I'm going to apply some extra powder under my eyes while I finish my eye makeup for not to spill any kind of product under my eyes. You get it. So applying some blush that is peachy coral and going in to reinforce my bronzing with a bronzer. Now this is a blush and this is a bronzer that I use, and on my jaw also I'm using a bronzer. You can see that not too much product is used and still you are able to see a very good amount of definition coming in. I'm using my finger technique to do my nose contour. This is the best way I contour my nose, and that is all I need. I'm using some kajal in my eyes, kohl in my eyes. Forgive the light issues that are coming in. But yeah, so the point of using a kohl and not an eyeliner that is overly defined is that I do not want my eyes to be like poppy. I want them to be soft yet, and I'm just using a clean brush to smudge the eyeshadow, the brown eyeshadow under my eyes, so that I have sealed the kohl in, and also redefining the wing that we previously gave. I love this technique, especially if you have very big eyes and they take up half of your face. This technique really works well. I am using a highlighter that is more on a cooler side than warm. So it's not golden, it is peachy pink, cooler peachy pink, and I'm going to use it on the high points of my face, cheekbones, chin, nose, and most importantly forehead, because my forehead always gets hidden or unhighlighted. I don't know what you call it, but it just disappears with the rest of my face, and I like my forehead to be a very good part of my makeup. So forehead is definitely my focus, and you can see that I'm using some on my cupid's bow as well. I love a defined cupid's bow. It really highlights the kind of pouty look that I like to give my lips. Forehead, even though it looks like I'm applying, I'm going really in with the highlighter. I'm using very little amount and building up little by little. When I'm going with my lips, I have used a brown color lipstick and lipstick as my lip liner, and I've done a cross on my cupid's bow, and you can see that when I'm doing the edge of my lips, I am literally putting the brush kind of inside my mouth because I love that the dip that it gives me when I'm doing the center of my lips. So this is what I do every single time, and it gives me very defined yet not over the top kind of lips. Usually people over I don't want to judge anyone, but it doesn't work for me. So this is the technique that I use. I line my lip from almost inside the edge of corners of my lips, and then I'm applying a very subtle pink shade in the center of my lips to fill in the blanks. I love this shade. This combo will, even if you're using a cooler lipstick shade, your lipstick will not look bad or cool. It will look very neutral and work well with your skin tone. I hope you love this look, and follow me on Instagram and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much.